Stay tuned because Good Sports is coming up next. Kansas City Sports and Fitness is the magazine for sports fans in KC. Inside, we cover local sports and local teams, from pro to peewee and everything in between. And this month's free copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness includes the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report. You'll find Kansas City Sports and Fitness all over KC at places like the Kansas City Ice Center. And it's free, so pick one up today. It's the best of Good Sports in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to a special Best of Good Sports Kansas City Sports and Fitness show. Now, this segment is presented by Kansas City Chiropractic. Kansas City Chiropractic understands the high-pressure demands placed upon individuals in the workplace and the athletic demands people place on their bodies. They offer the care that can relieve pain and stress and improve overall health. You can call them at 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com. Hello, everyone. I am Steve Fish. I'm the publisher of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine, and you're watching or listening to the Best of Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness show. Now, we're taping parts of this Best of Good Sports today at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, which is located on the east side of Metcalf at 127th Street. Now, before we get started with the highlights from some of our recent shows, I want to tell everyone that our current issue of KC Sports and Fitness is available free at over 700 locations in Kansas City. And this month, with our current issue, KC Sports continues to celebrate our 16th year as the magazine for sports fans in KC. Now, in our current issue of KC Sports, we feature our hockey report presented by the Kansas City Ice Center. We write about the success the Kansas City Stars youth hockey organization has had at the Ice Center. You can visit our website, kcsportspaper.com, to find a link to a list of locations where you can find Kansas City Sports and Fitness, and you can actually check out a PDF of the entire issue as well on our website. Now, in our KC Baseball report presented by Budweiser, we discuss the Royals' chances to make the playoffs, and we look at what George Brett's contribution to the team has done for the Royals' bats. And recently we sat down with World Series champ Greg Pryor, who is a regular on Good Sports. Now, in 1985, he sat right next to George Brett every day in the Royals clubhouse, and he also backed up Brett at third base for several seasons. And we discussed George Brett's contribution as hitting coach for the Royals with Greg at a recent interview at CMS Nutritionals. Here's that interview. You're good friends with George Brett. You sat next to him in the locker room for many years, and it's been a few days since he resigned or whatever, stepped down, I guess, as the hitting coach. How do you think he did?
Well, I think that the team, being 3 games under 500 right now, has done well since he and Pedro, the other hitting coach, took the place of the other 2 hitting coaches. And I think that George learned a lot of things. It was a new experience for him. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of experience in working during the season with hitters. He had done it in spring training.
Sure.
But I think that based on everything I've heard and watching the guys take better swings and maybe take more better pitch selection, I think George has done very well, and I'm kind of sad to see him go. It was kind of nice seeing him in the dugout, being a former teammate of his. But no, he's done really well, and I'm proud of him.
Well, yeah, that's some of what people said. Is they said it's neat to see George with the uniform back on and in the dugout. It's just it just brings back up those memories of the great team that you were on, and it just created some additional enthusiasm.
Well, there's only one chance for these players on the Royals now to see a Royals Hall of Famer walk through the clubhouse every day, and they got to experience it. I didn't,
right.
But I didn't know I was playing with one when I was playing
Sure.
with him, because he just got 2,000 hits when I was there. But then he went to get another 1,000 hits, and now he's right where he belongs in the Hall of Fame, and as a respected hitting coach.
Absolutely. So it's been about 30 years, I think or so, since the Pine Tar game. That was also a something that's come up in the news and things like that. Were you a part of the Royals at that time?
Yeah, I was in the bullpen during that game.
Okay.
Dick Hauser put me out there because both catchers were in the game, and he needed a pitcher in the bullpen to warm up another pitcher. So I saw the home run take place from the bullpen. It took me a long time to get back to the clubhouse because when George was called out, the game was over. I get back to the dugout or the clubhouse, and I couldn't get near my locker. There was like 500 reporters around George's locker, and I was locker next to him. So I had to wait for 45 minutes to get near my locker, and I kind of tried to cheer George up, and I told him he was going to get an endorsement from a pine tar company for $150,000, and he started laughing. And I don't know if he got the endorsement.
Did he?
I don't think he got the endorsement, but I think he's made a little money from it. In fact, when they flew the bat back to Kansas City, Steve, after the American League president overturned the ruling, Emory Air Freight flew it back, and they gave George did a commercial for Emory Air Freight.
Oh, really?
So he made money out of the deal.
Well, okay, so I have to ask you a question. I mean, I play baseball, and I know that pine tar exists. What purpose does pine tar really serve? Because you see a lot of those players, and they'll touch it, and they'll touch their bat. Is there a lot of sliding around of the bat in your hands? And
a lot of times if you hit without gloves, your hands can get a lot moisture or sweat, if you will.
Sure.
And it just allows you to get a better feel on the bat, and it gives you mental confidence that your hands aren't going to slip.
Gotcha.
And I used pine tar, but since then they've come out with some spray products and some applications that you can put on the bat that are different than pine tar, even stickier than pine tar, because pine tar is smelly and it's runny, and it's not the easiest substance to work with on a bat. Plus, it might make you lose a home run. But no, it's anything that you can put on a bat. In fact, pitchers have used pine tar in their gloves.
Oh, really?
Vida Blue, he had pine tar all over his glove when he pitched, and that's illegal. But no, pine tar was something that we all used, but there's other things now that the modern day players are using.
Welcome back to the Best of Good Sports. I'm Steve Fish, and now we're going to take you from the baseball diamond to the softball diamond. Back in June, we were joined here at Mafia Pizzeria Southside by 2000 women's softball Olympic gold medal champion Christie Ambrosi, who lives right here in Johnson County and trains softball players. We discussed what it was like to win the gold and more, and here's some of that interview. Had a tryout with the U.S. Olympic team when you were still in high school,
yes,
and you wound up making a junior team that went on to win a championship at that point. And then was it the next year that you actually made the Olympic team?
Well, it's a process. When I was 17, I went out for the Olympics for the '96 Olympics.
Okay.
And so that was the very first time softball was going to be in the Olympics. And I went out, I made a couple rounds, and then I got cut after the last cut. I got cut, but then they invited me to come out and try out for the junior world team.
Right.
And I made that. And that was kind of the next batch of players they were kind of grooming for the next Olympics. And so that kind of got my foot in the door, and I played on, the national team for 5 years leading up to the next Olympics. But, they have an A and a B team that they basically every year they pick the top 60 players in the country to come and play each other for 5 days in a festival. And then from those, that and them observing you through high school and college ball, they choose what team you're going to be on. And so I made several teams, Pan Am games. There was the Pan Am qualifiers. That was a very interesting trip down to Medellin, Colombia, South America in '96.
Oh, wow.
That was a little scary, but fun. So it allowed me the opportunity to travel the world. I got to meet so many people, represent the USA, which was really awesome. But yeah, it's a process. It's not just like a one tryout type of situation where, like with swimming, you make your, it's your times. It's very, it's an ongoing process for that tryout.
Sure. So you had mentioned this. What is it like to play for your country? I mean, most of us don't have any idea about that. And I know, serving your country is one thing in the military, but you're putting on the USA logo. I mean, what is that like? What's the feeling?
Really surreal. I mean, when I was at UCLA, there's so much tradition and history with that program. And our coach was really, really good about us understanding that those 4 letters are bigger than us.
Right.
And that it's not just us. It's not about you or the team. It's bigger than that. It's about the people that have worn that uniform before you.
Mm-hmm.
And so to carry that over to the USA, I think I had a little bit of practice, but
Right.
then you get the 3 letters across your chest, and it's like your whole country you're representing.
Right.
And so there's a lot of pressure, but you have so much pride doing it, and you just hope that you do the best job that you can and make your country proud.
Sure. And one of the things that I noticed, and I noticed this first in women's sports, was this camaraderie that brings them together, like the softball game that's going on here. After every inning, they'll meet in front of the dugout, and I don't know what they say to each other or anything like that. It may be just a rah-rah, we'll get that run back or something like that. But that, and with volleyball, I've just noticed that in women's sports, there's just this incredible camaraderie that, team does come first. And I think that's really neat.
Well, as I'm sure you know, women are very emotional. And so
really,
our efforts and our success is based off of a lot of our emotions. So
Sure.
if we're able to, continue the positive energy throughout the team and, pick each other up, it really helps the team be more successful. So when you come together, there's a lot of things that can be said, but usually it's just, how many outs we have. All right, we got, reminding each other where everybody is and what to do. So.
Well, it looks good on TV.
Good.
It looks very good, and it looks, you start seeing more of the professional other sports and men's sports doing that kind of thing now too. So it looks a little weird in men's volleyball when they get together and hug and all that. But I'm a guy. So so you make it to the Olympics. How long is the process from the time you made the team to the time the Olympics started that you guys played together to gel?
A year.
Really?
They picked the team the summer before the Olympics. And with the Olympics being in Australia, they were in September because that's towards their summer. And so we would meet once a month in San Diego at the Olympic training facility in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And we would train together for a week. And then we would go back because we were from all over the place. And then we'd meet for a week once a month. And then in the summer, we went on a really long tour of going to pretty much every state in the country and playing an all-star team that they kind of put together. And it was really not only just for us to get ready, but to help promote the sport as well.
Right.
And for us to reach out to the kids and to be, role model, and for them to get our autograph and all that fun stuff. We went to Hawaii for a couple weeks, and we also went to Italy. We spent a month over there. And so, it was just a really awesome experience.
I'll bet. So the tournament starts. How many games does a team usually play, especially since you guys went all the way to the end? It's a little different than, we were talking before we went on the air where, a certain athlete, they do their one thing or they do the couple of qualifying things and then their event happens. You guys are almost constantly playing.
Yeah, we play, there's 8 teams in the Olympics, and we play a round robin, and then the top 4 teams go into medal play. And then, it's more of a bracket situation. So we played for, I believe, 11 to 12 days straight. So it was, we were on the whole time.
Yeah, because the Olympics is just 2 weeks. So you're basically there. So and you guys didn't do real well in the pool play, but you did enough.
We struggled. Our biggest competition is Japan always. I mean, Japan, we've won the gold in 96, 2000, 2004, and then in the last Olympics in 2008, Japan beat the U.S.
Did they?
And so we struggled with Japan, China, and Australia. Those are the top other countries that we really, go head-to-head with. And so we lost to all 3 of them in pool play. Almost didn't make it to the bracket games.
Wow.
So I think it was a good thing because it made us really just, we didn't get a lot of competition, especially on that summer tour. It was just kind of, we were blowing by everybody.
Right.
So it gave us a wake-up call, and we really had to pull together and take all of our talent and just go for it.
So you win the whole thing, and then you step up on the podium, and they hang this gold medal on you. It had to be, again, another surreal type of situation there for you to you experience that with these these other women that you've been friends and teammates with for a year.
It was amazing. I was a gymnast for 10 years. You wouldn't be able to tell now, but I was. And I'm 5'9". So that ended pretty quickly. But I remember watching Mary Lou Retton get up on the podium and get her gold medal, and I just loved her. She was so bubbly, and she was just such a great athlete to watch. And they didn't have softball in the Olympics back then, so that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the Olympics, and I didn't care what it was for, and at the time it was gymnastics. And so when I got on the podium and they put that medal around my neck, I was thinking, oh, I can't believe this. I'm doing exactly what Mary Lou Retton did when I was 8 years old, watching her get her gold medal. This is crazy amazing, And so and then, and to look up and see my mom and to see, my coaches and my teammates, it was just a really special moment.
Well, you hear these stories also about, the Olympic gymnasts that participated in the most recent Summer Olympics, about how the family's broke and going to declare bankruptcy and all that stuff. How did you guys support yourself to get to that point?
Well, luckily, the timing for me was perfect because I was in college at UCLA playing and finished up in 99. And then that summer, I made the Olympic team. I still had another year of school to finish my degree. So I stayed at UCLA, finished school, trained with the team with UCLA, and then went straight into summer on tour. And so you get, if you give up your amateur status, you get a stipend check. And, I mean, it's not much, but at the time, I was a college student, so it really wasn't a big deal. Yeah. You have your million roommates, and you make do. Yeah, exactly. But if you were out of that, it would be a lot. If I was older and I was doing, I think it would be a lot more difficult.
So Dot had to be a doctor during the.
I don't know how she does it. I don't know how that woman does what she does. If I could she has more energy than my two children, which I don't know how anyone could have more energy than my kids, but she does, and she's amazing. So I don't know how she did it because she went through medical school and residency, and I don't know how she does it. She's one of those people that she cannot practice and come on the field and be fine. Like she just makes you sick.
So now you're helping young athletes here in Kansas City achieve their dreams.
I am. I've been doing this. I kind of fell into it when I got back from the Olympics. I didn't really know what I wanted to do because what do you do after you get a gold medal? Like, what are you going to do with your life? How can you ever do anything like that? And my friend had said, I'm giving lessons. I can't get everybody in. Do you want to give lessons? I said, sure, I'll do it for a while till I figure out what I want to do. And I've been doing it ever since because I love it. I just love working with the kids and, just teaching them the life lessons that I've learned through sports and watching them grow and seeing how the sport affects them as a person. And it just really is such a wonderful thing to see and be a part of.
Sure.
So,
and you're helping kids get to the point where they're talking to coaches and scholarships and things like that.
And the thing about that is people have to understand that it's they really have to do the work. It's not me or anybody. I will help guide them and say, these are the steps that you need to take to help get yourself, recruited. But it really is on them to market themselves and to really go after what their dream is. Right.
Now, people can find out more about the services that you offer at your website, which is ChristieAmbrosi.com, and it's ChristiE AMBROSI.com. Is there a phone number or something that they can call?
They can call me at 913-530-5530.
Well, we only got through about a third of the questions that I have here, and our time, unfortunately, is up. Christie, thanks so much.
Thank you
really
so much.
Appreciate you coming on and talking with us. Next time, how big is the gold medal? Is it about yay big?
Sure.
We're going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to the best of good sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine show. We're coming to you from Mafia Pizzeria Southside, located at 127th and Metcalf in Overland Park. I'm Steve Fish. We'll be right back. Go online and watch Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports Magazine television show. It's available on the Good Sports KC YouTube channel and features local interviews with local athletes and experts covering sports, health, and exercise topics of importance to KC fans. And be sure to pick up your copy of the new KC Sports and Fitness Magazine, featuring the Surplus Exchange Soccer Report, the Budweiser Royals Report, and the Kansas City Ice Center Hockey Report. KC Sports Magazine is always free, so pick one up today. These days, we're all so busy, and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress, improve your health, and get more out of life. And right now, get a free 30-minute massage with your initial visit. Just mention KC Sports when you make your appointment. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, call 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
Beat the heat at the Kansas City Ice Center. Sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. Plus, come out to a public skating session or call them to schedule a party or group rental. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information or to register for a camp or class, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033. That's 913-441-3033. CMS Nutritionals is a new supplement store on College and Quivira. Stop by and talk to the experts at CMS Nutritionals today to find the right quality supplements for your needs. And with your coupon in KC Sports, save $5 on 4Life Immune Support for Kids. Plus, register now for upcoming seminars. To learn more about their products, visit cmsnutritionals.com. Call 913-469-3665 or stop by CMS Nutritionals on College and Quivira. Mafia's Meal on the Go is a great lunchtime choice. Get a 10-inch one-topping pizza and a 20-ounce drink from Mafia Mike's at 87th and Lackman and Mafia Pizzeria Southside at 127th and Metcalf. Great pizza and a great offer you can't refuse.
Mark Twain, Walt Disney, even Abraham Lincoln, they all filed bankruptcy. Debts can overwhelm anyone. I'm Jeff Wagner of WM Law, Kansas City's premier bankruptcy law firm. If you can't pay your bills or your mortgage, we're here to help. You can schedule a free consultation right now. Call 1-855-DON'T-WORRY. Stop those bill collectors. With 4 Kansas City locations, we've helped over 11,000 families through tough financial times. 1-855-DON'T-WORRY.
Welcome back to the best of good sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. We are taping parts of this special best of good sports today at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, located on the east side of Metcalf at 127th Street. Then our current issue of KC Sports. Check out our college football report presented by the Surplus Exchange. This month we have articles on MU, KU, and K-State football. You can pick up your copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness at over 700 locations, including right here at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, Old Shawnee Pizza, Eagles Landing Golf Course, and the Kansas City Ice Center. And now you can view Good Sports on YouTube. All you have to do is search for the Good Sports KC channel. And for our next segment on the best of good sports, we talk with motocross champion and now bankruptcy attorney at WM Law, Ryan Shernamen, who joined us recently at the Kansas City Ice Center, and we talked with him about competing in this very rugged sport. Here's part of our interview. 22 championships in your young career as a motocross, and I might have said motor. I probably did. You corrected me before we started the show. Motocross. There is no R, everyone. I just learned that. Motocross champion. You know, so when did you start this career? And I guess explain what motocross is to us.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So motocross, it's dirt bikes. That's commonly, that's the vernacular most people are used to is dirt bikes. Motocross is an outdoor sport where you go over the bumps and the hills and the whoops and the jumps, basically as fast as you can.
And you fly in the air, don't you?
Absolutely, you fly in the air.
It's like the TV shows that they shoot in San Francisco where the car goes over the hill and lands, but this is planned. This is on purpose.
Absolutely, it absolutely is. I've been doing it since I started doing it whenever I was 3 years old. Yes, absolutely. I started riding motorcycles whenever I was 3 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
I got into it because my parents, they had always owned motorcycle dealerships. Growing up, yeah. So, naturally, it was pretty
You were
natural.
free advertising for them then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, since I was 3 years old, that's when I began riding. My whole life, I had always begged my parents to allow me to start racing.
Wow.
And naturally the sport is very dangerous, so my mother was always hesitant to allow me to race. So, I actually got started riding earlier than most, but started racing later than most.
Really?
I began my racing career at about 13.
Okay.
Which most of today's top motocrossers, they start when they're 3-4 years old.
Really?
Actually
Wow.
racing. So.
Wow, you didn't start on a bike. That's BMX. You didn't start on a bike. That would actually be, well, not harder, but you've got to maintain the speed with the machine. Is probably a little easier than to maintain the speed with your feet.
Absolutely.
When you're doing that.
No, I did not start on BMX. The crossover between BMX and motocross, it is there. There are quite a few people that do that crossover. In fact, some of the top supercross racers. Supercross is motocross, but it's indoors. It's in the big stadiums, the football stadiums.
The arenas, yeah.
Yes. So some of the largest supercross stars of the past have been ex-BMX racers.
Really?
Yes.
So when you're doing those jumps, there's all the bumps. There's some of the bumps that I know that you go over that you really don't go up in the air. But then there are the jumps. How high do you usually get? How fast are you going? And how hard is it to land that thing? You only got 2 wheels.
That's true. You do only
it's
have 2
kind of
wheels.
like what these kids are going to be doing back here. I mean, earlier we had some figure skaters, and they're doing the spins and the jumps, and they're landing on that one blade.
Absolutely.
And we saw some landing, and we saw some falling,
Yes.
as they practice that. So how, my original question was, how fast are you going? How high are you jumping?
These motocross bikes, they don't have speedometers on them.
Okay.
So how fast you're going, you never really know from time to time. But the truth is you're going as fast as you can go.
Yeah.
You're going faster than the guy behind you. And as far as the jumps goes, motocross, those tracks are outdoors. They're a lot larger than the supercross tracks.
Okay.
The supercross tracks are indoors. They're going to have larger jumps because you're operating on the stadium floor. So
Right.
the jumps are much larger in supercross than they are in motocross because you're tight packed in there.
Yeah.
and you've got a larger crowd to appease as well. So in the supercross, you're looking at about 70-foot jumps from peak to peak.
Oh, my.
That's from peak to peak.
Oh, my.
Of course, there are larger ones.
70
as well.
foot, like 7-story? Well, that's not 7 stories, but it's...
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. In supercross, you can get way up there. Motocross is the same.
Wow.
You can get there are some really large jumps out there in motocross, but the majority of motocross is more high speed. You tend to go faster outdoors than you do indoors,
Sure.
just for the space reasons.
Sure. So you're still doing that, or do you just do it for fun now? Just go out and ride? You ride the motorcycle over here?
Yeah. No. Now I'm married and I have 2 kids.
Oh, there we go.
So that, I think those of you out there that are married, you kind of understand the fun, dangerous sports. Those kind of stop. Whenever I was forced to retire, I found it difficult to ride for fun.
Really?
It's kind of hard to shut it down, and then I get out of shape and no longer young like I used to be, and I don't bounce back from my wrecks as quickly. So I found just limiting my riding is usually the safest route and can get me to work the next day.
Yeah. Welcome back to old age and responsibility.
Exactly.
Welcome back to the best of good sports. Now, we recently interviewed Shjon Podein, who is a 2001 NHL Stanley Cup champion from the Colorado Avalanche, while he was helping Dean Nelson at one of the hockey camps at the Kansas City Ice Center. And we asked Shjon about his most memorable NHL goal, and here's just a very short minute or so of that interview. Shjon, what was your biggest goal in hockey? I saw one on video where you were actually tripped up by the goalie and had an angle that was a ridiculous angle, and you put it in. Falling down, you hit the puck. I think you were prone at that time. But what was your biggest goal as far as, a playoff goal or anything like that you can remember?
Did you do an SB one year or something?
Yeah, that was the one he's talking
That's
about.
when he saw
Is that one? Yeah, it was awesome.
Won an SB.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Didn't
It was called the American Express bet. That was before SBs. Now you're dating me. You know what it would be? It would be the same one that always comes up is my first goal in the NHL. It was, I just remember the feeling literally of having the weight of the world come off my chest, thinking I just scored an NHL goal. I'll probably be up here again for another day. Literally, that's what went
It
through
was
my
like
head.
his first shift, so it came quick.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
You and Mario Lemieux. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not use those names in the same sentence.
The only time that they're using the
Thank
same.
you.
We are going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine show. Today we're coming to you from Mafia Pizzeria Southside, located at 127th and Metcalf in Overland Park. I am Steve Fish. We'll be right back. Beat the heat at the Kansas City Ice Center. Sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. Plus, come out to a public skating session or call them to schedule a party or group rental. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information or to register for a camp or class, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033. That's 913-441-3033. If you're looking to be in better shape and striving for excellence in fitness in every area of life, Core Athletic is the place for you. Group CrossFit, sports performance and core performance training, Core Fit for women, and more. Core Athletic can help you evolve your fitness. Visit coreathleticKC.com or call 816-657-5536 for more information. That's coreathleticKC.com, 816-657-5536. Let Core Athletic help you evolve your fitness. Mafia's Meal on the Go is a great lunchtime choice. Get a 10-inch one-topping pizza and a 20-ounce drink from Mafia Mike's at 87th and Lackman and Mafia Pizzeria Southside at 127th and Metcalf. Great pizza and a great offer you can't refuse. Experience a touch of the Ozarks when you tee off at Winterstone Golf Course in Independence. Visit winterstonegolf.com for daily specials and call 816-257-5755 for lessons or information on tournament hosting. CMS Nutritionals is a new supplement store on College and Quivira. Stop by and talk to the experts at CMS Nutritionals today to find the right quality supplements for your needs. And with your coupon in KC Sports, save $5 on 4Life Immune Support for Kids. Plus, register now for upcoming seminars. To learn more about their products, visit cmsnutritionals.com. Call 913-469-3665 or stop by CMS Nutritionals on College and Quivira.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
Mark Twain, Walt Disney, even Abraham Lincoln, they all filed bankruptcy. Debts can overwhelm anyone. I'm Jeff Wagner of WM Law, Kansas City's premier bankruptcy law firm. If you can't pay your bills or your mortgage, we're here to help. You can schedule a free consultation right now. Call 1-855-DON'T-WORRY. Stop those bill collectors. With 4 Kansas City locations, we've helped over 11,000 families through tough financial times. 1-855-DON'T-WORRY.
Join Chiefs Greg Ted McKnight at Kansas City's Niles Home for Children's second annual Homecoming Through the Decades fundraiser. The event is on Saturday, September 21st, starting at 7 p.m. at the Tower Club at Arrowhead Stadium. Enjoy great food, drink, a silent auction, music, dancing, and more. Tickets are just $75, which includes 2 beverages. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. For more information on this fundraiser and the Niles Home for Children, visit nileshomekc.org or call 816-241-3448. Join KC Sports and Fitness at the Agape Hoops Youth Sports and Family Fitness Fair. It's coming to the Fieldhouse of KC in Overland Park on September 28th and to the Sports Lodge in Independence on October 12th. See you there. Welcome back to the best of good sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. We're taping parts of this special Best of Good Sports today at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, located on the east side of Metcalf at 127th. Now, this segment of Good Sports is brought to you by the Surplus Exchange, where you can take a tax donation credit plus help KC students when you recycle your electronics and office furniture at the Surplus Exchange. For more information, visit surplusexchange.org or call 816-472-0444. And I also want to mention some of the experts who each will be a part of our show during the month, and each has contributed an article to the current issue of KC Sports. They are Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic, Dr. Carol Ann Reeser and Stephanie Reese from CMS Nutritionals, and sports enthusiast and bankruptcy attorney Jeff Wagner from WM Law. And in the upcoming weeks on Good Sports on September 7th, we'll be at a new location. We'll be at the grand opening of Core Athletics, which is 1 mile west of Briarcliff, near the Red X in Riverside. On September 14th, we'll be at the Kansas City Ice Center. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. And then later in September, we'll be back at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, which is located at 127th and Metcalf. So come on out and join us, and you might see yourself on TV. Now, in one of our recent segments, which we recorded a few months ago when we were here at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, we talked with youth soccer. With a regular on our show, Bob Akers, from the Surplus Exchange. Ian Barker from the National Soccer Coaches Association of America joined us for that interview, and we discussed the educational programs available nationwide through this organization that's based here in Kansas City, Kansas. Here's a part of that interview on the best of good sports.
Sponsor soccer.
Right.
And I want to really quickly get into the importance of the gentleman sitting next to me. We're putting sponsorship money into soccer clubs, and I'm being very demanding about coach education.
Sure.
Because having been involved with this much of my life, my adult life, I see things that horrify me.
Mm-hmm.
I see things that make me want to applaud a guy.
Right.
We need to level that out so that we applaud everyone. And having an organization like the National Soccer Coaches Association here in Kansas City, it's another one of those organizations that is a treasure that's not known enough about.
Right.
And the amount of good that they do here locally, nationally, and internationally, it's something for Kansas City to be proud about. We really have something here. I don't know if we take as much advantage, although I don't think he wants us to take any more advantage because unless we start cloning or something.
Sure.
But in any case, I'm proud to have Ian here as a guest, and we can talk more about sports and Surplus Exchange later. But
okay.
I want you to get in and
let's talk about that.
Ian.
National Soccer Coaches Association of America, located here in Kansas City, Kansas. You've been around since 1941. That's just.
Not me personally.
Nobody knew. That's true. The organization has been around since 1941. How long have you been with the organization?
16 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you come from? What's your background?
I was coaching in Minneapolis, St. Paul, with a Division III college called McAllister College.
Sure.
And prior to that, I was the state director of coaching for Minnesota.
Wow.
So we had 80,000 kids. And then I did a good stint with the University of Wisconsin Badger men's soccer team.
Right. Well, when reading on your website, your goal that you say is to learn, participate, and belong. Can you explain what those mean?
Sure. That's become sort of the buzzwords for the organization. My part of the organization is very much the learn part,
right?
Which is the education. And so formal education, come along and do badges. Slightly less formal education, come and watch sessions. And then informal is sitting in a bar, sitting in a pizzeria and having a soda and talking and watching soccer and just being learning that way.
Sure.
Participate is very much all the other activities we do for members, which aren't exclusively learning opportunities. And then belong is very much the membership, which we're quite proud of, this largest soccer coaches association in the world.
So that's a part of the process is individuals, coaches, organizations become members of the association, and then they can utilize the tools that you have available to those members. What are some of those tools that you have available?
Sure. Well, some of the key cornerstones to membership actually is the insurance. So we provide liability and secondary liability and sometimes medical insurance for members, which is surprisingly a very popular offering that we have.
Sure.
All kinds of discounts with our corporate sponsors and products and so on and so forth. And then behind the membership wall, resource library, so coaching materials for coaches to access as part of their membership. And then we're starting to use more and more technologies like Brainshark, which is essentially a narrated PowerPoint, little video clips. We're certainly using YouTube. One of the things that's been really popular is our LinkedIn and Facebook pages, where we found that coaches really want to interact. And I participate in that a lot. And it seems to generate an extra buzz if the people in the office are contributing to those.
So by interact, you mean you're talking to them in over the computer or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. So we do webinars, and those webinars are archived on the website, and they're archived through YouTube.
Awesome.
And then people participate with questions through LinkedIn back to me, and then we go that route.
I see. So, and you also offer clinics and programs where individuals can come out and help the coaches.
Sure.
Work with the kids, things like that.
I mean, the residential educational programs are typically a week long, very large commitment for people to give time and money for a week. The biggest courses we do, 300-400 people will come to a college setting typically.
Sure.
But everything down to a couple of hours in a local community park with perhaps the grassroots coaches, probably mums and dads who are coaching their children, 5 and 6 years old. And we're providing all of those menu options, if you will. So we try to provide for every conceivable shape of coach that's out there.
And it looked like you have a variety of selections, to reiterate what you just said, from the mom and dad and just getting started and teaching the kids in the right way to a master's in coaching, which I'm sure Bob already has. He just doesn't have the particular certificate just yet, but a master's in coaching as well. So, for example, you have a bunch of 5-year-olds. I remember when my youngest was that age and was out playing soccer, and that's kind of how we found out we needed glasses, because he was always behind the play.
Sure.
But it was herd ball, as we all know. It becomes, instead of 5-on-5, it becomes 10-on or 9-on-1 and things like that. How do you just for an example, to a mom and dad that are out there, how do you
I think
do something different?
It's kind of interesting, because I think mums and dads understand that English class for a 4 or 5-year-old is not Shakespeare, nor math class is calculus.
Right.
And yet sometimes sports seems to have to look like, let's say, sporting, which is obviously quite silly. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to help the parent coaches, the grassroots coaches, understand that these are 4 and 5-year-olds, and they physically, cognitively and socially operate completely different in the sport arena than a young adult. And so once we get them comfortable with the fact the kids are going to move a little bit slower, their balance is going to be a little bit different, and sometimes they might not want to compete, sometimes they might not want to share the ball because they're 6 and they want to hold on to their ball.
Of course, yeah.
Once you work some of those ideas out, the coaching becomes so much more enjoyable, and that's what we're trying to achieve, is make it more enjoyable for the coach, translate to the kids.
Right, and so we're talking with Bob Akers from the Surplus Exchange and Ian Barker, who is the Director of Coaching Education for the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. One of the things that you guys do as well is, if it's not fun, you say, toss it out. Toss it out.
Sure.
Plug in something else that is more fun for the kids. I think that's a great thing, because you try and run these kids through the drills, they get bored. They start, doing things to each other, waiting in line and things like that. I think you've actually got a saying as well where you don't want them standing in line waiting.
We do the no laps, no lines, no lectures little mantra.
Right.
So what you try to do with the kids is it's not about the coach. It's not meant to be a coach-centered activity.
Sure.
You want the coach to manage it. But you want lots of activity with a soccer ball, kind of an eclectic movement, much like the game is played. It's a 360-degree type game. So if you've got them running laps, if you've got them doing very linear activities, if there's a lot of standing around, it doesn't mirror what we'd like to see them do on a Saturday afternoon when they're playing their 5-a-side game.
Absolutely. And Bob, I know you're involved with the Brookside organization, and then
more with FC Porto.
FC Porto, yeah. But so how has this organization assisted? I mean, I know you're in charge of some of the different coaches, and you're in charge of the goalie coaches and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not sure I'm in charge of anything.
Well,
it's all in charge of me.
Okay.
No, I mean, I found I've taken the goalkeeper coaching classes with the NSCAA, and I've found them to be wonderful. Even if you think you've studied it and you've played it, the way you communicate, these people do a lot of research on exactly how to teach and communicate and build from, basically someone who maybe has no skill whatsoever,
right,
and take them through to develop the foundation that you can then start building more advanced skills on. And I think every practice I run incorporates something that I've learned, with Ian's group as well as USSF, But, if you're going to be a good coach, you're going to have your eyes open. You're going to look for everything you can from any corner you can to plug it in and help. But, you need the structure, and that's what NSCA is so good at providing. The structure, they've done the research. He's been all over the country, and he's seen so much that when you have a chance to go and take a class from somebody of this quality, unless you're just absolutely flatlined, you're going to come away better.
Sure.
At least for that day. Now, your personality may dictate that you're something else later. But, as far as, if you're in this and you're coaching kids and you want to be better, and to be better, you want to be better for the kids, these are the guys to call.
Sure. So to reach people, or for people to reach you, Ian, how can they get in touch with your organization?
I'm very comfortable for people to reach me through the website, nsca.com.
Okay.
But my email, ibarker@nscaa.com,
okay,
is just fine. If you reach me by email, you'll get my cell phone number and my direct line at the office.
Okay.
And that's totally fine. We'll probably help you by passing you on to a more local asset.
Sure.
Sometimes those local assets will come out on a pro bono basis if it's a good cause. Certain communities, we're trying to work on some military bases.
Nice.
And we're doing some pro bono stuff with the kids and coaches of active duty people. So
wonderful.
That type of opportunity, and certainly working with big clubs that are putting a lot of money. The parents' money is being put into the coaches and the players.
Right.
We'll go in and assist with the education of those coaches to make the environment better for the kids.
We recently talked with KC golf instructor Rob Shipman about his golf invention called The Goal. Here's that interview on the Best of Good Sports.
Instructor, you're also an inventor. You've created a training aid that's called The Goal. Tell us about The Goal. We've had it in the shot here in front of you, but tell us about The Goal.
Well, there's something when I went out and taught, people tend to be inside the ball and the putter on the heel and the putter aim left.
Mm-hmm.
Almost always.
Really?
And so as years went by, I came up with something to start to correct that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not to sell, just to do.
Right.
And then as I had it on the green teaching with it, everybody thought it was great and wanted to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to explain it wasn't for sale. It's something I had made. And the members kept coming on and saying, you need to go make that thing. You need to go take that thing and sell it. And so after a couple years of prompting, I did the patent process, got it patented, went and got a maker here in Kansas City, and we had some made, took it down to the PGA show, and the response was humbling and overwhelming. It was great.
Well, the PGA.com rated it as one of the 10 best things you've never heard of. Now you've heard of it here, and of course you can check it out by going to ShipmanGolfInstitute.com or thegoalofputting.com. You can find out more about the goal. But how does it work? What does it do?
Well, basically, when you go to putt, just like shooting a rifle, if your eyes are over the rifle barrel, you can see the line or where you're aiming it more precisely than if they're inside. And so by putting this on the line of the putt, when you put the alignment sticks in the goal itself, the hole will appear between the goal. And if the hole's not in the middle of the goal, that means your eyes are not over the ball. Then once your eyes are over the golf ball, you just focus on hitting the ball through the middle of the goal. It's very simple. Very, very simple, but very, very effective.
And you've got some video, I think, on your website that kind of shows that. And it is amazing when you see that and break that that technique down, that it works that way. Now, what happens if the green is hillier or something like that?
You can actually set it up on the break of the putt.
Oh, okay.
You can actually set it up. You can put a tee to the side of the hole and set it up on that line, and it works fine. Usually when you practice putting, you practice straight putts, but I'm not going to say I've never used it. The trick is to actually try it. From having it at the PGA show, people come by. The PGA show, for these who don't know, is mostly just golf pros. Just golf pros looking at equipment.
Right.
And golf pros come by, had greens down there. They'd look at it. I'd ask them, do you understand it? And they'd always say yes. And then I'd always say, do you really understand it? Tell me what you think it does. And they never got it right. And then so I would convince them just to stand over a putt. And just time after time, once a golf pro stood over it, they're just lifted up their head and said, that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, that's maybe one of the problems with trying to sell it is you almost have to stand over it to understand it.
Right.
But once you see it, then you understand it. But obviously, when I teach with it, people do use it, and they always understand it.
And so obviously other golf pros are using it now in their teaching, and so that's spreading as well.
Yeah, since the show, when they ordered them, it just almost every day a golf pro will call me from New York or California, wherever, and just tell me they just think this is the greatest training aid ever invented. It's see the line, hit the line without anything down around the ball.
Right.
You're still just putting the ball. There's nothing, no block of wood. There's nothing to train your stroke. It's just see the line, hit the line. And it's really rare in golf today to come up with an idea that no one ever came up with. It's just completely different.
And so simply,
very simple.
Doesn't require the computer, and everything is so computer analysis, which I know is very, very important as well. But very simple tool. Again, you can find out more about the goal and Rob's Golf Institute at shipmangolfinstitute.com. His other website is thegoalofputting.com. It kind of sends you both to the same place, really. But and to wrap up this special Best of Good Sports, we have a segment we did recently with former Chiefs great Ted McKnight here at Mafia Pizzeria Southside. He's joined us along with Kevin Cullen, who is the board chair for the Niles Home for Children, who are putting on a special fundraiser called Homecoming Through the Decades on September 21st at the Tower Club at Arrowhead Stadium. Now, for more information on this event, call the Niles Home at 816-241-3448 or visit nileshomekc.org. Here's some of our interview with Ted McKnight. And what are your thoughts about the team?
I really haven't followed them that closely. I mean, I'm going to try to catch some of the game as I can. I went to the last home game, and when I'm not able to go to the games, I at least listen to them on the radio.
Sure.
And the first and second strings have been good. I had an opportunity of having dinner with Andy Reid and with John Dorsey and the Chiefs president and Clark Hunt and it went well. It was a nice deal, and I think the beauty of all of it is that you can see the rapport that they have with one another, and they all seem to be on the same page. So that's really nice, as opposed to, unfortunately, and if it were the case, some of the backstabbing things potentially that were said that were going on. They joke together, they laugh together, they just seem to fit well, and it seems as though the players that I've had an opportunity of being around and the conversations that I've had with them have bought into it. Look what their special teams are doing, which at one point we weren't very good, and the special teams have now become a pretty dynamic part of that three-headed dragon that you have on offense, defense, and special teams. So in the event, and I can't see any reason why they wouldn't continue to do it, as long as the players continue to buy in and the organization stays very positive, I think that we've got a really good chance, and again, I'm going to be conservative, of saying that we should at least be, 8-8 or a 500 team.
Sure, absolutely. Agreed very much. I think Andy Reid's going to have to be the coach of the year, though, to pull off, some of the success there, because most of the elements are sort of the same. We got a new quarterback who moves very well.
Yes,
moves very well. He just needs that extra second.
Well,
to do his thing.
Mark Donovan has been instrumental in bringing great talent here, and Andy and his coaching staff have been able to evaluate it. I think that, again, this is nothing more than a fan, which I am as much as anyone else's opinion, is that, additional outside wide receiving may be the area that needs some level of improvement, and maybe that was the case when they made the change for Baldwin from the players coming, I guess, out of the 49ers, who was probably better affiliated with Alex Smith than he would be with their current quarterback of the 49ers. So I'm very excited about it. I don't care much about the preseason games because you got a lot of young kids out there that you want to look at. So
absolutely. Now, when you played, the NFL expanded to the 16 game. They expanded one of your first seasons. They went from whatever they were doing to 16 games. Was there much problem with that amongst the players?
No, I think it was probably a benefit because when you've got less number of games, you get less opportunities of less repetition. Because you're going to get your veterans in there. You're going to want to know what they're going to be able to do. And then you as a rookie, you're going to have to do the best you can. When I came out of the Raiders, I think we had then expanded to that 16-game phase. But, the problem that you have going into a veteran team like that is that you're not going to get a lot of reps. So the fact that they've expanded it gives the young guys who weren't going to see a lot of time more time right now.
Gotcha. And that was beneficial as well for you because you played under Coach Marv Levy, and the Chiefs' defense wasn't very good at the time that he came in, and so the idea was keep the defense off the field.
Absolutely.
Which benefited you because you got more carries.
That's right.
And you guys ran the ball a tremendous amount of time.
We ran, believe it or not, in the 1970s and 80s, we ran a 1950s offense, the wing T. But you know, the cool thing about the wing T is that, and it's illegal now, but we could crack back on linebackers. You know, they didn't know who was coming, and you know, there was so much motion taking place that they would look at a tight end. You're a slot back. You're moving around. We had a lot of guys that were weeping on the defensive line because they didn't know who potentially was going to hit them.
Well, that'll do it for this very special Best of Good Sports. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we want to thank Mafia Pizzeria Southside for hosting us today. Be sure to join me, Steve Fish, again next week at the same time for Good Sports, Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, and check out some of our other shows on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. So until next week, be sure to read all about sports, health, and exercise in Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. You'll find it all over Kansas City, and it's free, so pick it up today.
These days, we're all so busy, and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress, improve your health, and get more out of life. And right now, get a free 30-minute massage with your initial visit. Just mention KC Sports when you make your appointment. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, call 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com. Tired of online dating? Try Heart to Heart Introductions. They've been bringing couples together since 1994. Meet real, verified local singles. For a free initial consultation, call 913-491-9110 or visit hearttoheart.com. Bring basketball fever to your own backyard or driveway with your very own game court from Sport Court of Kansas City. Let Sport Court come and install a basketball game court at your home. Game courts can also be installed for volleyball, racket sports, soccer, tennis, or roller hockey. So sink that basket at the buzzer and have your own Final Four at home in your backyard or driveway Sport Court. For more details, call Sport Court at 913-963-7529 or visit sportcourtkc.com. Every afternoon after 3, take advantage of the golf specials at the Heart of America Golf Academy. 2 green fees with cart are just $35 on the river course and $22 on the rock course. Call the Heart of America Golf Academy at 816-513-8940 or visit HOAGolfacademy.com. Mention KC Sports when you buy a large specialty pizza and get a small one topping free at any of the 3 Old Shawnee Pizza locations: Shawnee, KCK, and Lenexa. Visit ShawneePizza.com for menu and details. Who will be crowned as the best scramble team in the area? Sign up now for the 3-person City Championship of Belton, Sunday, September 22nd at Eagles Landing Golf Course. For more details, visit eagleslandinggolfcourse.com or call 816-318-0004.
Whether you are playing a sport, running a business, or learning how to use an iPad, your ability to make split-second decisions is essential for your success. Hey sports fans, this is Greg Pryor. I was an infielder in Major League Baseball for over 9 seasons and was a member of the '85 World Champion Royals. My decisions in the field and at the plate could have been the difference between winning and losing. Since 1994, I have owned a local health supplement company called Life Priority. Life Priority offers many nutritional formulas that give your body the nutrients that can help your brain keep pace in today's fast lifestyle. To see all 17 Life Priority products, please visit my website at lifepriority.com or call me at 913-438-5433. Use Life Priority products and improve your chances of winning. For free shipping, use promo code LIFEP at lifepriority.com or call me today at 913-438-5433.
The Army Reserve has more than 120 unique career opportunities, so you can add to your current strengths or build brand new ones. Join the Army Reserve and you'll make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Learn more at goarmy.com/reserve. For more information, contact the Greater Kansas City Company at 3720 Arrowhead Drive, Suite B. Telephone number 816-531-3818. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong, paid for by the U.S. Army. Is muscle tightness causing back pain? Could increasing your flexibility improve your performance? The Flex Assist is the safe and relaxing way to improve your flexibility. With the Flex Assist ergonomic design, you can complete your stretching routine quickly and comfortably in just minutes a day. So whether you're an athlete or would just like to maintain good flexibility and reduce stress and pain, the Flex Assist can help. Order your Flex Assist today and save $30 with this special $69.95 introductory offer at theflexassist.com. Join the NAIA Champions of Character for their inaugural awards luncheon on November 6th. The event honors top athletes and citizens of character and features a keynote address by former Nebraska football coach Tom Osborne. Visit NAIA.org or call 816-595-8117 for details. Kansas City Sports and Fitness is the magazine for sports fans in KC. Inside, we cover local sports and local teams, from pro to peewee and everything in between. And this month's free copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness includes the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report. You'll find Kansas City Sports and Fitness all over KC at places like the Kansas City Ice Center. And it's free, so pick one up today.